Coach, it's over to you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. It's been stressful weeks, the last 2 weeks, because of injuries and visa problems. So it started 2 weeks with a selection of 32 players, and from the first moment, there were already 4 or 5 players out. So Pete was out, Peterson was out, Kotze was out. After that there was Tau and Morena, who is out. Yesterday Morena came in camp with an injury, so he's out too. And then when we have the 23 players, there was Monari and Valo and Mudau, who were also with an injury. So I was a little bit, panicked a little bit, certain moment, because, as you know, those 2 friendly games are very important for me, and also for the players. So I expected that I couldn't see what I like to see with all those injuries. So I was very happy yesterday, after the screening of the doctor, that I have the 23 players that I wanted from the beginning, except Percy. So Percy will not be there. He's again injured. It becomes a little problem with Percy. Since I'm here in September, he had the problems with his transfer to Al Ahly, so he wasn't ready for the 2 games, but he played it. He was injured, he went injury back to Al Ahly. Then he was not there for the 2 games against Ethiopia because he was injured. Then for the 2 last games, Ghana and Zimbabwe, he was not 100%, and he returned with an injury. So now again he's injured. So I hope that one day it will stop with him. He's a very important player for us. But I'm also a little bit afraid, if that goes on, that we will have a problem, Percy Tau, for June. And let's hope that it will not be like that. But now again, I think he will be out for weeks with a knee problem, so this is not a good thing for us. So I'm happy with the guys are here now, and maybe I can tell you again the 23 names. So for the goalkeepers, it's Williams, Modva and Vuma. So defenders is Moby, Mudau, Laila Ke, Derek, Sulu, Nkaba, CBC, Shandu, and Vala, Mokoena, Mosele, Monare, and Brooks, and the strikers, Lai Foster, Bongo Kulolongwane, Magopa, Fagri Lake, Keegan Dolly, and Letsoalo. We called him on Saturday after we knew that Percy was not there. So again, I'm happy with the selection I have. So we needed, after the evaluation we made after qualifiers for World Cup, that we needed a little bit more quality in our group. We needed a little bit more power. When you see the games we played for the qualifiers, certainly the last 2 games, also the games against Ethiopia, we struggled to have 2 victories. So maybe there was a lack of quality. Then against Zimbabwe, where we had to make the difference in goals, we couldn't do it. We won, but it was not so good. So we needed a little bit more power there, and certainly in the game of Ghana. So they started the game very aggressive. We didn't have an answer on that. So the evaluation we had is that we needed quality more, experience, power, and I think with the players who are here now, certainly about experience, the players of Pirates and Sundowns and Amazulu, they do it very well in Champions League and in Confederations Cup. So they have now that experience on high level, and that will help us, I think, for the next games. So I said it already. It's for me are important games, difficult games, but I asked for difficult games, because in the past I'm told that it's not usual that South Africa is playing friendly, tough games. It was always against, if I can say that, weak opponents. So they were sure before the game to win it. I think we are not sure to win it now in the next 2 games. But it will be a very good experience for all the players. And for me, it will be a good opportunity to see certainly the new players, if they are really an improvement for us, if they can bring the power, the experience that I expect. Every player will play. So I will try that every player at least play 1 game. Maybe some of them will play more, because still I will be a little bit careful with the players who were injured in the weeks before, so that we don't injure them again. So what I expect from those games is not a good result. I think it will be very tough when you play against the world champion. A good game is good, and I want to see that players who are there now show their quality, so that they can be there again in June, and that we will have a stronger team than that we have in the qualifiers for the World Cup. The World Cup was at the other one side a deception, because with 1 goal we were not in the playoffs. But we did good results, and it was a beginning, like I said from the beginning. We would try to do everything to qualify for the World Cup, but it's not a disaster if we are not, because it was a good experience for all those players who played those games. But now, in 2 months, there are qualifiers for AFCON, and I said it already from the beginning, this is a must. We have to go to Ivory Coast next year. We have to be present on AFCON. And therefore I hope that the games we are playing now will give us what we expected. And then I'm sure that we will be stronger for the qualifiers for AFCON, and that we will be there next year in June in Ivory Coast to play AFCON, because this team needs that kind of tournaments. Thank you.
Coach Tsepo Tobani from ENC. Coach, how difficult is it in terms of, yes, you mentioned injuries, to select the squad? We know that you are building a team, but for those, let me say, senior players that are doing well, is the door shut on them, or you are still trying?
For once and for all, I'm very sorry, but for once and for all, since I'm here, everybody's talking about Yali and Zwane. I don't have comment on that. You know why they are not there, so I will not repeat that every time. I'm very sorry, but for me, no comment anymore about Yali and about Zwane. The players who are out, so the only player who is out is Tau. So normally he was with 23 players, but he's not there, so Letsowalo is coming in his place. And the other players are Kotsi is not there, Pete is not there, Peterson is not there. I think it's all, because so much. I have to look at the paper here. So Peterson, Pete, Tau, Kotsi, and yesterday, okay, Morena. He was also injured in the game of Sundowns last Saturday, I think. So he's not that either. But all the rest, so the 2 guys who are here, and Mvala, they are ready to go with us.
Coach, I'm looking at the 2 players on either of your sides. These are the players that I'm going to speak about Modao, for instance. Leopards would have never gotten a call-up, even if he would have played his best football there. But you came in and changed the narrative that you can get any player from anywhere. How far is your scope? Are we likely to see you going as deep as going into the ABC Municipes and getting other players who are less, who are with less famous teams and big teams?
You have to try always to increase the quality and to improve your team. So we started here in September, and I said from the beginning, so I will try to build a young team, but the door is not shut for the older ones. Not here, but look here on my left side. Is the oldest player now in the selection, is 32. So I never said that the door was shut for those players, but when I came here, I saw that the team was old. And when you have an old team, you don't have the future. But with what I said in the beginning, with the games we played for the World Cup, and we made the evaluation, we saw that we missed something. We missed experience. I saw the performances of Sundowns, Amazulu and Pirates in Confederation and Champions League. So when players are giving a good performance on that level, I don't think that you can keep them out of your team. They deserve to be there. They have the qualities, they have the experience. So therefore I expect now that those guys will increase the quality. So that means that if we can do that, we will have a better team than 2 months ago. And we will go on in the next years, but the goal of all this is that at a certain moment you have, let's say, 25 players. And those 25 players will always be there. And then you can take some moments, players who are in good shape, who do it well. So it will never be always the same players. But one day you need to have a group of players who are always there. But again, you have to see that you can always increase the quality and improve your team. So I hope that now, for the qualifiers for AFCON, that I have my team after 7-8 months doing scouting every week on the PSL and looking at players abroad. I think we have to have now our group of players who will start the qualifiers in June. It's a problem, what I said. Percy is already 8 months, I exaggerate now, but he's already 8 months injury. and it's not a surprise. So in June, with the transfer to Al Ahly, he didn't train so much. He didn't play so much. And then he played 2 tough games, Zimbabwe and Ghana, injury. Then he started with Al Ahly, playing, injury. So I think for Percy, it would be good that he will train now for 6 months and no playing, just because the basic, his physical basic is not good. So I think every time he plays, he's overloaded. And then you get injuries. And what we see now with the players of Sundowns and Pirates, because they have a so overloaded program, you see the injuries are coming. This is something normal. And this is what happened with Percy. His basic is not good. He's playing too much games and he don't have the physical opportunities to do that. And he's falling from injury to injury.
Morning, everyone. Yeah, I just want to thank the coaches for selecting me. I think it's a good opportunity for me as a player to represent my country, and it's a good experience for me to play for Bafana. I think it's my first time here, but it's a good thing to be here, and everything is okay. I can't complain with anything, but yeah, also as a player, I think going to experience, I think playing against France and What's this? Guinea. I think it's going to be a great thing for me as a player, just to improve, show off my talent, and then, yeah. Now, I think football is as something else. You'll never predict football. I'm going there to show up my talent, so I'm going to play my normal football, make it simple for myself, just make sure I'm helping the nation to win.
Yours.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the media. It's really a pleasure, to represent your national team. It always is, and it's good to be here. And I feel like we have a good test ahead of us, and I feel like we're here now, and we mentally prepared to get the test going. And looking at the camp, everyone seems ready and excited at the same time. So it's really a pleasure, to be part of this beautiful team, and we're obviously looking forward to the task that we have ahead of us. Yeah, well, it's very important, playing at that stage. It's more like an international level, so it gets easier to adapt, when you are selected for the national team, because some faces do look familiar, when you get to that stage and you are called up internationally. So it doesn't really phase you, it's just a matter of you've seen its familiar faces, and you go ahead. So it's not really, that you have to adapt into how they play and all that, because as you travel with the CAF, that's when you get to understand, how other teams play and how they operate. So I think that's when, or that's how the experience comes in.